Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yay. Wow. I know a lot of you are feeling the energy right now. And over the weekend, it was just full on in so many beautiful ways. And so I was really inspired. I wanted to almost come on live yesterday, but I was like, nah, I'm going to wait and put it out there so people know that they can come in, and also for me to have a day to be free in my own life. Wow, I'm just really excited to share what I'm feeling, and I'm really curious of what you're feeling. So at any time, feel free, please, to share in the chat or on comments what it is that you've been experiencing lately, what you're perceiving, what you're feeling, what's coming up. I'm going to share what it is that I'm perceiving, which isn't always the whole picture, but and then we're going to do a short, guided, heart-centered intention and visualization to support anything that has been coming online for us to deepen and anchor in, and or if there's something that you're wanting to create right now in life that we can utilize this energy for to amplify it in a beautiful, loving way. So we will just do a quick grounding meditation just to bring all of our energies into the space in a cohesive way, a grounded way through all the lands that we're on. So if you wish to and you're in a safe place to, feel free to close your eyes. Or if it's comfortable for you to leave them open, just to be in your surroundings, to be in your space, that's fine too. And just take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath in. As you take a deep breath in, just let that breath really go in deep into the body. And as you're exhaling, letting the exhale guide your body into a more relaxed space where you can just let go. You can just let go into this space with us here. Continuing to breathe deep, welcoming yourself here to the space, to your body. On each exhale, just noticing, letting your face and shoulders, and your back and your hips, your arms and your legs, and hands and feet to relax. Just welcome yourself into your seat where you're sitting. To be ever more present, welcoming your energy, welcoming your presence, your wisdom, your love, your truth, and each breath through the body. Your wholeness, your connection to self. And as we're breathing, just having gratitude for being able to be here today with yourself. Receive what's here for you. We ground and connect through a beautiful white golden light through the center of our bodies, all the way down into the pure center crystalline core of beautiful earth that we're on. In gratitude for this life. We breathe, taking a deep breath through the heart. Letting this energy ground into the body, the heart, the breath through the heart. Welcoming pure love, pure heart, pure self. Grounding in. And as we do this, we're going to allow this beautiful golden light to thread through all of our hearts in the purest way to connect and unify the energies that are here and support and sharing, connecting, and strengthening our circle here today and all that will be coming onto the replay. That we come in here for clarity, connection, expansion. Thank you. Taking a deep breath in again. Feeling the joy, relaxation. And as you open your eyes to the space around you, just letting yourself carry this energy into your physical space around you. That you're in connection with your internal and external world as one breath. Thank you. Yes, that feels good. Thank you everyone for being here again, being willing to show up for yourself and everyone here. And so who's feeling this energy coming through the past few days? Yes, yes. Oh yeah. Woo. Yeah. I was actually pretty impressed. I felt pretty high the whole time, high and just such a delighted, joyful, and just so much information and so much coming through. It just felt really, really strengthening and really clarifying. And so as many of you might know or not know, there were about 48 solar flares that went off between Friday and Saturday at different magnitudes, but it was a lot of energy, a lot of energy. And for those of you who may have been following me, my understanding of the solar flares as I work with the inner realms of the sun, and I was shown and told, was that it's bringing in codes from source. Like, so as each of us has our own sun, as we have the sun of the galaxy, as we have the sun of our solar system, as we have the greater suns of all the galaxies have, that the universe has in all their different places, the sun is a key piece of radiating, right? Just like it radiates the light and the heat, it's radiating information and codes. And so it brings in the codes from source, brings them in, works with them to be able to send them out, and not just send them out to Earth, but send them out to all and everything, right? So all the other planets, all the other stars, all the other beings. And right now there's a harmonizing of the spheres, as I was being shown. Yeah, 48 flares in 48 hours. Yeah, absolutely. Like one for every hour of the day, right? So what we're seeing with the harmonizing of the spheres is, as we're moving, as we've been talking about a lot, moving from an inorganic template to the organic template of reality, right? That every planet is also coming online, and we may be feeling this in our own bodies, because as we know, we're the microcosm of the macro, right? We're made up of all the energies of all these, of all life, right? But specifically planets and the way they're arranged in our physical bodies. That all the information, all the places we've had lives on these planets or in these different systems, these different star systems, as they're purifying, so is our physical vessel, and so is our energy body, right? So as we're working, our energy bodies are wanting to harmonize everything. So through this, it's a lot of energy being pumped through to create this clarity. And a lot of the veils are being released as well. And not just the veils of the untruths, but the veils between dimensional worlds, right? And so what we're doing is coming into a more grounded place of being able to reflect, to really deeply self-reflect. Because not just are we self-reflecting in this body, in this consciousness, but all the aspects of ourselves and all the timelines that we're in, or all the different soul bodies that we're in, right? So we're gathering information. We're gathering information. And from this information, we get to really deeply discern more and more how it is that we want to be, how it is that we want to see, how it is that we want to feel, and really take this energy and really focus it and concentrate it within this sphere of our own self. So as this expansion is happening to dismantle all these false veils upon the earth, and I'm seeing it happen, like I was in a meditation the other day, and it was called to release all of it from the satellites, all of it from any devices that are structured to create the veil, any structures or devices that are in place to keep the power structures beaming these energies at us, right? To fit within the false structure that's on this planet. And so there was a lot of freeing up of energy, freeing up of power, freeing up of that. And then, and so it's like being in that heart center, like really what feels good, what really feels good to us, and giving it to ourselves, and having that strength and courage to really discern what is true for us, and being able to communicate that with ourselves and communicate that with others, and really deeply let ourselves have it, right? Give it to ourselves. And so I'll just plug this in here real quick. For those of you who did my From Worthiness to Wholeness, self-reverence and self-care, we're going to be doing part 2, which is going to be all about diving even deeper into what feels good to us, and really having the confidence and courage and connection and the clarity of self to deepen that. We're doing that next Wednesday. So I'm going to be sharing more about that later, but I just wanted to share that with you because I feel that right now we're being called so deeply. And this is like with the timelines that are happening, we are really, truly, by every choice that we make, the power of our attention, our intention, is really deeply creating the geometry and symmetry of our reality. And the more we put our intention and attention into this, into listening to our heart, to listening to our truth, and saying, no matter what, I'm saying yes to that. I'm saying yes to that, no matter what. And so what we're seeing right now too is a lot of shifting in relationships, a lot of shifting in a lot of shifting into the communities, what's happening in our communities. I'm watching it in my community too, especially in the homeschooling community. There's a lot of clarity happening on what relationships want to happen, what relationships don't want to happen, what structures we want to put in place, what is our truth of our structure, what structure of reality are we actually wanting to create. And in my personal life and relationships, big overhauls, like massive overhauls of like, noticing, maybe you're noticing where you're giving, where it's not meant to be given, right? Or you're trying to take where it's not meant to be taken, or you're not giving to yourself or really focusing on your time and attention the way it wants to be, right? And so that is super, super clarifying right now. So our physical body is going to tell us, right? Our physical body is going to tell us. What is your physical body communicating to you? Where's your tension, or where are you finding that? And so that the spheres within the outer realms, right, is also focalizing on the inner spheres of our body, like our energy centers, our chakras. Every cell of our body is an energy center of the sun that's blasting these codes through our body to say, hey, are you listening? Are you listening? How much are you willing to be listening? Right? And so as this is crystallizing through the field, and as we're reviewing, like there's almost like what I'm watching is even our higher soul aspect that is individuated into all these different bodies. It's actually reviewing like all our timelines right now. It's reviewing where we're putting our energy, where we're putting our consciousness, where we're putting our attention, where we're putting our focus. in all of these different places, because as a soul, we have this unique expression, and it's playing it out in different ways through all these different existences, right? So it's just a huge, yeah, a massive overhaul on all levels. Absolutely. And so what it is, the opportunity right now is to just go into deeper self-reflection and deeper self-review. And even the minutest, subtlest feelings that we're having, those are some of the greatest ones we can put our attention on. Because those are the ones that are creating the bigger ones, right? The bigger experiences in our physicality or in our life. So the more that we can slow down, yes, William, being in the present, the more that we're slowing down, being in the present, we can feel those different subtle nudges, and then say yes, right? Yeah, it's really interesting. About that. I'm going to read everyone's comments in a moment and then go over as we go into this more. And so it's feeling more, and so some of you may be having more visual experiences, right, of what you're seeing in the world around you. Some may be having more visceral, like more physical sensation experiences. Maybe a lot of creativity, like for this week in me, it was a lot of creativity and a lot of truth and a lot of like, yes, knowing like this is where I'm putting my energy, this is where I'm not putting my energy, and just being very clear, right? But also, I was just happy and excited. And all these entrapments, right? All these entrapments that we have allowed ourselves to come into. And that's what I was seeing too, is like yesterday, my partner and I went out kayaking on the crystalline lake here. Lake Washington, I call it crystalline because there's a lot of crystal around the lake and underneath the waters of the lake, and an incredible amount of crystal. And so we kayaked out, to an island. And then before we left, I was like, we were just going to go out and have a nice time kayaking. Don't know what we're going to do or what's going to come about. But then I was like, we need to do ceremony. Like it just came through, like we need to go on an island and we need to just like tune into this energy because it is so strong and something wants to happen. Right. And so we kayaked out to an island I hadn't been on before. And there was just so much crystal all over, white crystal as well as some clear crystal all over. And it was a beautiful island that kind of came up onto a little peak. And we went up there and I brought a few crystals and just sat. And so many angelic showed up. It was like the veils are getting so clear now, right? And that's what's happening. Is like, are we willing to see the truth enough that we're not trying to go from, say, what we call the 3D experience to a higher experience? We're willing to let it permeate what we call the 3D, because the 3D is not a bad place. You may think it's a bad place because we're in a body and there's a lot of imbalanced stuff going on Earth in the 3D realms, but really we're all multidimensional, and every multidimensional function and aspect has a place. It has its experience and expression. And so we're not always in just one of the dimensions. We're in the multiple dimensions all the time. It's just, what are we interacting with? What are we interfacing with? And that's okay. It doesn't matter, really. It matters how we're in our hearts, right? But what I'm noticing as we're coming into unity. So this is what we're working with. And so as I was there and in this space of going, we're going to sit and be with what's calling through here, it was just like a whole nother realm opened up. And it was like literally the angels, the angelics were just right there. It was just so crystalline and so pure. And it was like talking to you, like seeing you right here, in front of my face. I mean, I know you're not here physically, but I can see you, right? And it was just this beautiful, profound circling of these just powerful beings, and Archangel Michael and Melchizedek and all these beings. And I don't normally connect with them individually, but they're coming in more and more now, because, and there's a whole intergalactic community showed up because they want to welcome us into, yes, this higher consciousness, William, this higher consciousness of who we are, that we are these angelics in a body, And what we're doing is merging and coming into this unity rather than thinking, oh, we have to shift from one dimension to another. It's like, no, we are it. Let's be in this body, right? This is such a profound state of experience that we're having right now, to recognize the non-separation more and more and know that each one of us has these angelic qualities, that we are these. And so this is what's happening in this experience. And so just wanting to share that with you so you can recognize maybe if there's some deep stuff coming up, or you're noticing, more information coming through for you, or, there's more creativity. There is such a harmonization going on right now to bring this forth. And just wanting to celebrate that too, because with all of us that are working with this energy and this knowing and this wisdom of ourself and knowing what's going on in the world around us, we can create a whole new reality by the choices. And I know I say this a lot, by what are our choices and where we're putting our energy, our power, and our focus, right? So this harmonizing, this review. So just take some time, if you're feeling those experiences, and go into that self-reflection from a neutral, loving place. Just go in and like, wow, let's review my life as I'm leading it, maybe on a day-to-day basis. And where can I adjust? Where can I adjust that would feel really good to me? Right? And where is that going, and how would that support me? Right? So we're crystallizing a whole new existence through this moment, through this energy, calling forth this. And so what I wanted to do today, I'll read comments and then comment and share back, is just go into the heart and utilize this energy that's coming through to just really create a space for ourselves to deepen the experience of what it is we're working through, what it is that we may be integrating, what it is that we're reviewing or reflecting upon that's coming up for us, and to just create a visualization and intention of ourselves being whole, being full, being complete, and making the adjustments and allowing ourselves to do what will feel best for us, right? So deepen the heart, deepen the love, deepen the connection. And if anyone has any questions, put them in chat, or any other comments. And I'm gonna look. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I was just reading comments here. The animals are feeling it today as well. Yeah. The birds have been so active, like super early in the morning as well. And Robin, yeah, intense with relationships. Absolutely intense with relationships. I concur. in ways that are just really showing where we can be clear and in our communication and what's really true for us in relationships, right? So that we can maneuver in a way that's beneficial for everyone. And there is more chaos. There can be more chaos. Just like that whole dynamic of order, chaos. It's just like chaos is a part of the process. We were in a group session the other day, and in the middle of the meditation, my modem went out and just went out. Never done that before, just went out. And it was like, oh, okay. So, had to recalibrate, fix that, get back on and keep going. And other people had other things happen in their space at the same time the modem went out. And it's like, wow, when we were shifting so much energy that it created, right, that chaos. And then it all was able to land back into a geometry and a symmetry. And that's what happens in these intense moments of our life. It feels chaotic because there is so much rearranging itself that it just, it kind of feels like it blows out everything. And then everything just has to land. And where it lands is how we're being, right? how are we being in that chaos, so that as it lands, we're really creating a new structure for ourselves, right? Maybe it's beliefs or ideas or relationships or homes or whatever it is that aren't in true alignment for us, that we can see those things within the chaos of the experience, and we make the choices within the chaos that are going to align us to allow those structures to come into place, right? So instead of being chaotic in the chaos, that's where we take it in and we be the center of the chaos so that we can watch it all, right? So it's like the eye of the storm, right? So, so right now, I feel for me, I went through the chaos and now I'm in an amplification of where everything wants to land back into place. And it feels really good because I was just staying really in tune with what was happening during the chaos, like all the emotions, all the feelings, all the thoughts, all the external experiences, right? So, yeah, so I want to read the comments here on chat so I can get an idea of where we're at. Yeah. Oh, wow, lots of them. Great. Yeah, Michaela. Yeah, the nervous system. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So then as the nervous system, obviously that's going to be how we're receiving and transmitting information through the physical body. So that's might feel heightened. Yeah. So just we're gonna, tending to the nervous system through this is always key. The relaxation. How are we tending to being relaxed, being calm, tending to the physical body to nurture, to soothe in any way. And absolutely, that's what's happening too. Yeah, Michaela, is that with these timeline reviews, what can happen a lot of times is in different ways, right? And we all have like these inorganic false bodies or false identities that we've taken on that are in a body or whatever, that as they dismantle, all that energy, and not just power, not the imbalance of the energy, but all the power of ourselves comes back to us in this form right now, or wherever it's more conscious. So it's like our soul is gathering ourselves up. And some people may be leaving their bodies right now. And because of that as well, they need to go to a different body. They need to go to a different timeline. They need to go to a different experience because the experience they're having right now, either A, is not serving them or it's just complete. We go through completions. This is also a completion phase where we're completing certain aspects of our being, certain ways of being, certain patterns, certain experiences, certain karmas, right? And so as these complete, because we're reviewing and choosing something different, it expands a whole nother opportunity of space for our energy and for our creation to come in. Right. And so it's a powerful being. Yeah. Last day of May. Yeah. It's fun. I starting Mastering Monday in the beginning to bring in this, to support the energy of what's happening this month and end this month with this. It's really fun. Yeah. Yeah, definitely cultural, linguistic, religious overhauls. Yeah, absolutely, Adam. Yeah. And Michaela, sometimes I think I'm hungry. It's a deeper experience than not hungry. You just want comfort of food. Yeah, notice those things. That's so powerful to notice those things, right? So that we're not just feeding, not just on the not just feeding the physical body, we're not just feeding the same programs, not just feeding the same things. Like, where is it that you can set something down or breathe into the body? Like for me, it's been interesting. Like I just had a massive, like, I need to stop, I need to shift my eating too. And just what my body needs right now. Okay. And be present with that, no matter what it is. Like, just so that we can be online with what we're feeding in our systems, right? Not just food, but energetically, thought wise. Yeah, and it is fascinating, Charmony, where um, a lot of people don't necessarily feel these flares or feel the energy, maybe on a physical level, or even have changes in their minds, what's going on. And even though they may be awake or may be aware, it's just, they just flow right through it, right? And we're all having our own individual experience, right? And it is fascinating to be around that when we're watching and like feeling so much, or we're not feeling much and somebody else is feeling a lot, right? And going, what's going on? But it's just an individual experience of where things are landing. And your being, maybe in another aspect, in another life, is feeling more than it is in this one, right? And that's okay. And wherever we're at, just being okay with wherever we are. All illusions are dropping away. Absolutely, they are. Veils are dropping. You know, Sarah, I noticed a lot of suppressed emotions come to the surface, a lot of anger and physical pain in my back, hip, shoulders, teeth, and gums. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Let it come up. Let it come through. Let's let those things go. You know, let's let those massive things go that we've been holding on to, right? Because what's necessary? What's necessary right now? And let this show us, right? Getting very clear, no choice. Everything's clarifying. Yeah. Adam, becoming more true to myself, not allowing others to brainwash or bully me, and allowing higher love, self, or Christ centered to transmute my devil to bring about. Yes, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, merging all the aspects. We are all of it. Absolutely. Yeah. Michaela, yeah, as I understand, it's only 10% of our soul is embodied with us, the rest in higher realms. You know, it's different for each one of us. I don't see it as a across the board, the same percentage or amount of energy or amount of our soul that's in our bodies. I see it different for everybody. Some is less, some is more. Um, so that's just my perception though. Yeah. In meditation, I keep giggling, being a giggling baby in the center of a lotus flower. Oh, how beautiful. The rebirth of the innocence, right? The rebirth of life. Yeah, beautiful. Ah, yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Embodying wholeness. And Savannah, I can often feel heat in my body. That's wonderful. Yeah, that's an indication of things moving, things changing, things coming alive in places that maybe haven't been alive, activating that energy. Yeah. Um, yeah, the singing of the birds, it's so, if they have been off the hook, it's just like what's really interesting as I was reading this the other day with birds, because in the morning they are just awake so much earlier than normal, that I'm used to them being awake, and they are just loud and they are like boom. I'm like, ooh, all right. So I'm waking up every morning like, to the bird songs. And I was actually looking, because I love biology and plants, and I studied plants a lot, and I love being with plants. That's why I love to garden. One of these days, I'm going to do a live around my garden just to kind of share it with you, because I talk about it a lot. But uh, someone was actually doing some research and found that with what's called the stomata, which I'll use this leaf, high leaf, which is on the bottom, that we can't see, on the bottom of the leaves, that's actually where it breathes through, and it's called the stomata. And they actually found that the birds, and it closes up at night, and it closes at night, and it's more releasing. It's and then in the morning, as the birds sing, the stomata, the lungs of the plants open up. It's almost like the signal to the plants to wake up and breathe again, just like us, wake up and breathe again, right? And be here and in this exchange of reality. And so it was just really profound to read that. And yeah, the freedom with that. So yeah, you saw that too. Yeah. Yeah, shivery plasma energy is absolutely. And so that's what we get to see. And I know we've talked about this before, that as we are in this, we're going to see more colors. We're going to see more, because we have been so limited in our reality, what we've been allowed to see. What open, not just, open the experience, like what is here possible for me to see, other than what we normally see. Yeah. Oh, Pat, your earring has increased and sleeping affected by this. Okay, Pat. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of times what I notice with ear ringing in people is tension, inner tension. So just curious of what you might be feeling with that inner tension. Um, yeah, everything is bigger and brighter, robust, lush colors popping. Absolutely. I know I'm seeing my lilies outside. They're all big and pink and open, or the lilies. So let's go into this heart-centered intention space here so that we can utilize these energies. I'm just really excited. Yeah. Yeah, birds. Yeah, Robin, birds here are just so much more vibrant, enthusiastic. The vibrations, having noticed more seeing and knowing. Absolutely. Yeah, beautiful. Yes. All right. So let's take a deep breath. Lots of shifting and moving through the teeth. Interesting. Yeah. The roots of the gums and the teeth. Let's take a deep breath in and just welcoming yourself here to this space and noticing maybe how your body's feeling and what's coming up from what you heard, or through any of the comments, anything I said, or anything that came through you as we were speaking and sharing, what landed, what didn't. Just taking a deep breath and just letting everything settle. We're just going to ask for a nice golden white light to flow down each one of your bodies and energy bodies, just to allow all the energy that's been happening for you and coming through for you to just settle, just settle and integrate and ground. And to just let your body settle into your seat. And breathing into your heart. And as you're breathing into your heart, just recognizing what's been speaking to you. What's been speaking to you? Maybe it's been loud, maybe it's been quiet. And in this greater space, we're going to ask to have harmony with what we're receiving through our hearts. To allow the sphere of our experience of this body and this energy body to strengthen its harmony with self, with the true consciousness and the fullness and wholeness that we are. And through this breath of the heart, that we strengthen our willingness to listen and hear and move with what we're receiving. As we're breathing through the heart, let's ask the heart to show us either a specific color or colors or vibration in the body or an image or words that are here for us to receive any information from ourselves, from our heart, from our truth. And as we're surrounded here by these beautiful angelics and energies in this amplified field through the sun and the earth and the core of everything clarifying deeper and deeper into the heart of truth, we welcome in the harmonization of all the external energies of the original templates through our physical bodies, our energy bodies, our own bodies, with only the truth of who we are, with everything else dissolving, dismantling any other power structures that are no longer needed. As we breathe through the heart, we're going to welcome in a brilliant white light, a clear light that also goes through every cell of this body, that allows our physical body and our energy body to unify and to expand. So just breathing, and as you breathe, let your whole energy body expand as far out as it wants to go. Just letting yourself breathe and open and expand. Breathe, open, and expand while you're staying with your breath and your heart. And as you're in this space, if you wish to again receive something from your heart, that would be something to place your intention and attention on, or if there's something specific, maybe it's just a feeling you would like to have more, or a way of being you would like to be more. Maybe there's something specific you're creating in your life that you would like to have more clarity and energy manifest. Bring it into this moment of your brilliant light of the heart. We're going to ask that everything that's around this experience that you're bringing in through your attention and attention to be at the purest, highest level of your consciousness, of soul, of source. Using present I am words. If you're speaking any words, or maybe you're just having feelings and sensations that amplify the energy. Just sit here for a few moments. As this is happening, just watching a lot of integration of the energies that have been coming through for each one of you recently. Watching cords and energetics dissolve here that are no longer needed in the body. Letting this breath of the heart permeate the whole body, permeate, creating a new flow of energy through the nerve system, through the brain, the spinal cord, all the organs and the cells and the tissue of the body, alive with this energy, flowing through all of the energy bodies, and then allowing all the timelines, all the soul, the OverSoul of your being to grace this space and bless this space with the utmost care and love of your wisdom, your consciousness in this body, on earth, in this moment. In full wholeness and connection of all that you are. Yeah, calling in all the soul fragments of those parts of the timelines that are ready to learn into this moment. Allowing the geometry and symmetry of your life to arrange itself to this higher level, this new way of being, this frequency connection to self. Ooh, harmonizing, harmonizing, harmonizing. Letting the lens through which you see be clear, truths, deeper truth, heart-centered truth of self. May all the lenses of your perspectives, all the lenses of your being, your brain, your body, all experiences be clear and arranging itself beautifully to this beauty and wholeness. Allowing the mind and the heart to be open to what's new, to what's free, to what. Taking a deep breath in, and letting this ground in, just taking a moment, taking a breath and come into a stillness. And if you wish to, just gonna bring a nice, beautiful golden ball of light, golden heart in the center of our circle of all of us here. If you're on the replay, you can also the beautiful shining diamond in the center, the multiple facets that we are in wholeness and the strength of our being. And if you wish to, in the center of our circle, sending in your intentions, your being, to be held and amplified in this moment, to bring in all that is needed and the highest good for what you're creating, all the energy, all the clarity, all the connection and resources and opportunities and beauty in the clearest, highest way, in the purest way. Yes. And as we do this, knowing that we're also creating a beautiful geometry that is supporting all of this throughout the whole collective of all the planets, of all the beings, of all the seen and unseen, and the patience and the trust. We bring in the patience and the trust to all that we're creating, and the calmness to be in the moment. So as things show up in our life, we're in the space to relate to them, to see them, and to discern. It is inviting this clear energy of yourself back into your heart. Knowing the support that's here. Knowing that you've been heard, you've been seen, you've been felt. And all is coming into place for you in this moment. Good. Beautiful. Just taking a deep breath. We'll just sit here in stillness for a few minutes. Just ground and feel and connect into this. And if you need to move, just feeling yourself with this energy. Does the body need to move? Does it like to be still? Does it listening to how this energy wants to move in this breath? Beautiful. Taking a deep breath in, feeling the body to ground into this moment, ground to the space around you, the center of pure crystalline earth, letting the crystal, the light of this earth receive this embodiment of you, for it to support this embodiment of you here and now. Beautiful. Just welcoming yourself to the space around you, taking a deep breath. And as we do that, we will welcome the resonance of this being of you with everything else in your life. To allow everything in your life to come into alignment in accordance with this new you. Yeah, good. Taking a deep breath in, feeling your feet, feeling your hands, feeling your arms, and feel free to just sit in the space if it feels good to sit in the stillness with your eyes closed. If not, you can open your eyes and see your reality, affirming who you are now within this reality. How do you feel? What feelings does it bring for you to be in this space? To know this part of yourself. And then see it in the space around you. Opening your eyes to this is the reality that you are. Yay. Thank you. It was interesting. I was seeing so much shift, especially the bonds to what's no longer needed, as well as the bonds that were no longer needed through these timelines, as well as the OverSoul was really flowing through this moment now. And then at the end there, it was just like everything came together as I was watching how the planets were shifting with this. And it's just like how the whole arrangement of reality was shifting. It was like it all just came into one light and then came out again. It was like the Big Bang. We just created a whole new, reality and of our lives, of our being. So thank you. Yes, I'd love to hear and chat and your comments on Facebook of anything you experienced. Anna Maria, you really struggled to stay awake. Yeah, a lot of movement there, huh? Your body wanted to rest into it and just let the unconscious take over and do what it needed to do. Love it. Sharmini, yeah, love it. The new Big Bang. Yeah. As one of the other pieces I wanted to share is this harmonization of the spheres is coming through so that it all can sing the rhythm. I think that's what the birds are doing as well, is just singing this new frequency through the field to support this new reality, this new formation of reality. And it's not necessarily just new, it's just new to us. Many years ago, when this all started for me, I was shown that our bodies would be different, that this earth would be different in how we see it, as well as there are many more planets within our solar system and galaxy than we are shown. And that's what I was talking about earlier with the devices and the satellites, how they maintain a structure for us to collectively see and agree on. And I know that people over the years have been taking pictures of seeing other planets and other bodies in the heavens, and so that's going to be happening more and more as we are tuning into the truth of ourselves. More of that is we're going to be seeing those things, just like through the multidimensional field. Whoever of us is here to have that vision will be seeing more. Adam, yeah, if you'd like to share, please unmute yourself.
Hello, Kristen. Yes, thank you very much for that. That was really special.
You're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And for me, this was the real Big Bang. The real Big Bang, not the phony modern scientific theory, but the real Big Bang. And so, yeah, it's fantastic. Very, very good. Yes, I really appreciated it, and also I felt the communal spirit of us, all of us together, putting our goodwill into action together in the center. So yes, that was just incredible. Thank you so much, Kristen.
Thank you, Adam. Yeah, you're very welcome. Appreciate you. and your energy, and just feeling just how beautiful and clear your energy feels right now. So thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate it. Oh, the real Big Bang. All right. The real. Yeah. Anyone else like to share? And I'm going to look on Facebook too to see if you're writing in comments. Yeah. Yeah, Robin, the birds kept flying under my porch and making crazy noises with their wings while we were doing that, and they were singing like crazy. Oh, wow. They're like, yes, we're here, supporting you. And you're supporting us by being in this too. So the exchange, the flow of energy, right? So does anyone else, you can either raise your hand on the screen, or you can raise your hand in chat or under participants next to your name if you want to come on and share, or just feel free to unmute yourself and come up. Yeah, open field here, open source. That's what we're doing here, is open sourcing right now. What are you sourcing? What are you open to sourcing? Because that's what we are, right? The open source. Yeah, Gordon.
Just prior to this call, I had a really disappointing experience because I was applying for a place to live and it was going to be perfect, and it didn't happen. And so, in the context of this call, I was getting in touch with all of the things that I'm still trying to let go of, because I feel there was a connection somewhere between not getting this place and me not letting go of some of their behaviors. It's basically food, just my commitment to taking care of my body a little better and eating better and all that kind of stuff. But in this practice that we just did just now, I just kind of arrived at a place to say, well, let's not try to make all these connections. Let's just kind of I guess the apartment was one of those things that had to fall away. Maybe that's not the right direction for me, because I'm really in that place where I know I'm going somewhere new and it feels really strong. But I also at the same time feel kind of helpless in directing that, where I'm going. And so, that's just where I'm at right now. And I guess I have a little bit of fear. I get fear sometimes that I'm not going to make the shift. I'm going to get left behind or something like that. So anyway, but this was really beautiful. This practice was really beautiful. Being in the heart and feeling everything was easy. And in the world, I'm sensitive to the things that the things. Like I say, I made a comment in the chat that every morning I have this beautiful maple tree outside my window, and every day there's a lot of birds out there, and they're all talking and walking and flying, and even the little babies are coming out and trying to flap their wings, and they haven't, because they can't fly yet. So I'm seeing all of that as well. Anyway, that's my rant.
Thanks, Gordon. Yeah, I appreciate you coming on and sharing your experience, your real life experience, of what's happening. And it's powerful to be able to share this in this space. So thank you. And may all come into alignment for you. And it's interesting, when we have an idea of something that we want to create and it doesn't manifest, right? Or it doesn't show up in the way, and how we have to arrange, maybe what we're doing that's not in alignment with what we truly want to manifest. So it can't, if there's not a match yet, or maybe we just haven't seen the match yet, and so just being with it. And so thank you, Gordon, for sharing that. So, and just noticing, what is my match right now? Maybe it's not what I'm thinking it is. Maybe it's not what I'm feeling it is or hoping it is. And that feeling like you're helpless and being left behind. And I want to do another workshop or something on the idea of an end or the shift, right? Because the whole idea of making the shift, you're shifting, we're all shifting, right? And what is the idea that you think you're having to shift into, or what's the end of this journey, or what's, you know what I mean? And so kind of releasing the pressure of that, because that is part of the false spiritual reality. So let's let that go, you know, let's let this idea that you know, we're not going to make it the team or something, you know. Because you're your own team. You're your own team, right? Yeah, Beverly, just a moment here. I'm going to just share a couple more things, and then you can come on. Appreciate it, Beverly. And I get it. I'm with you though. I've had that experience. For everyone else who's had that experience before, feeling like you're going to be left behind and feeling helpless or hopeless of how we're going to be in life, or how it is that we can really manifest or create our life, right? And so in that open sourcing that's available right now in this magnified energy, breathe and going, wow, what really is here for me? And I welcome what's really here for me to show up. And so maybe having gratitude that that apartment didn't come through, because what is really here for Gordon? What's really here for Gordon, right? So let's just all bring that in for ourselves. And I also had that feeling when I was going through a process the other day where I was identifying a certain experience that I was having and going into all the layers. Like my process is what's underneath that, what's underneath that, what's underneath that, what's underneath that, with every feeling that comes up or thought. So I just keep going, keep diving in. And it was that feeling of like hopelessness. It was like I was holding a hopelessness, or, you know, that idea, you know, because one of the layers was being left behind, right? And I just kept going, right? And it was like fascinating. Okay, what's the hopelessness? And so when we do that with ourselves, we get really into those deep spaces, right? That allows us to see what's underneath all of these things, and then tend to that peace, you know, tend to the peace that it stops at, and maybe then it opens up more pieces, right? But it was really profound, you know, because then from that, you know, we can shift and go, oh, wow, well, I don't need to hold that on, because maybe it was from that experience or for a different experience that doesn't apply anymore. And we've grown and we have shifted, right? And so now we can embody what's true, the true energy. And for me, it was like, whoa, such a clarifying, like, openness and expansion of experience, and allowed so much more to flow. So yeah. And Michaela, I love it. We made it by being born. Yes. True that. Thanks for feeding the birds. Yeah. And William, there's nowhere to go. We must just be in our heart, self-aware consciousness. Absolutely. There is. And that's one of the things too, is that no matter where we are, here we are, right? Where are we? Who we're being and how we're being in this moment connects with where we're going and how we're getting there, right? And I know it's a constant reminder, right? Knowing that, yeah, FTS, that it is all perfect. Okay, so maybe I'm old school, but I'm not down with, I don't know what some of these acronyms mean. Like spell it out for me. And the mind keeps believing I have to do something or control my next steps. Absolutely. Whew. Letting control go. So Beverly, yeah, I want to hear from you. What's going on there?
Yeah, a couple of things. I cannot believe we're talking about birds so much. I had a terrible experience yesterday. I had two young teenagers cleaning my porch or whatever, and I thought that the bird's nest that was on top of my awning was empty because the parent birds were not there as much. But I finally realized I wasn't home. Anyway, I knocked down the bird's nest, and these tiny little, five little tiny birds were just gasping for air, and there didn't seem to be any shells or anything. And these teenage boys were like mortified, and I was like, I was just so crushed. And so I'm listening to the birds all day out on my porch, trying to figure out what happened, you know, and oh, it's such an experience. So I kept saying, okay, I released them, God bless them. You know, I'm not sure why I went through this or why they went through it, but um, anyway, I just had to share that. I think the boys that were here, they lost their dad a few years back, and for whatever reason, I gave them a crystal yesterday, and I said, "Oh, this was a terrible memory. I don't want you to think of this, my home, as killing the birds, you know." So I gave them each a crystal, and I said, "Now, when it comes overwhelming, you just hold this crystal or whatever." Like, I don't know, it's kind of silly, but yeah, I wasn't even going to bring it up again, but I guess I think in my subconscious I'm kind of traumatized because I killed the 5 little babies. And the one boy said, "Oh, you can't just put him in the bag. He's still gasping." And then it was like, oh, you know, I think I work better with people that are passing over than birds, only because I work in hospice, you know, not like but anyway, that's that. But the one thing that I did want to share, I don't know when it was that I listened to it, but Kristen, you shared about when we change and we're in a different flow, that we're walking in experiences that we used to always walk in, like a normal job that we always did, or a way of life that we always did. But now we're bringing a new self into that job role, and it really makes me think more about uplifting the situation that I am in from the new person that I'm feeling I'm becoming. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's exactly what, yeah, exactly. That's what's happening, you know, because then who you get to be you instead of like conforming, thinking I have to, you know, because I know some people think they have to do that, leave my new way at home. I can be my way at home, but I have to still fulfill this role in this certain way. It's like, no, be fully on you and who you are now in this new way into those spaces. And that ripples out and radiates out and can affect people in the most amazing of ways, you know. And I think that's one of the biggest, that's what we're doing as we shift collective along with ourselves. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you. And blessings on those birds, but it was there for a reason. It was there, you know, there for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's just also kind of like, I think one of the things that I've noticed in my life is double checking things. And this is not a judgment on what happened with you, Beverly. It's just sharing. Like, I feel like I've been kind of like in that double checking things. I think something. Let me check if that is true, you know, before I'm acting, so that I'm really in that space, because our minds can carry so much. You know, that isn't true, you know, regardless of what it is. So yeah, just beautiful, Beverly. Thank you. And that's beautiful. It's not silly at all that you gave them crystals. I love it. I love that you're sharing that type of energy and connection and way of being.
You know, like my grandsons are used to it, and they say, "Oh, Nana, we got Nana rocks," or you know, I gave them a little box, and they're like, "Oh, I wonder if there's Nana rocks in here," you know, and they kind of expect it. But these guys were their first year of college and hefty, and I thought, oh, I don't want them to go home remembering the birds. I'll go, you know, I said here, and they were little, you know, heart-shaped crystals. So
oh, beautiful. Heart-shaped crystals, beautiful. Well, who knows where that will take them, you know? So that's beautiful. Yeah. You share it with your loving heart, and that's all we can do without knowing what the result's going to be. And that's what we do in the world, and that's what helps shift the world as well. So thank you, Beverly.
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, what you were sharing reminded me is one of the shifts that I'm making is allowing myself to be more social sometimes when it feels good. And so Saturday I had a full-on day, 3 different experiences, you know, with different friends and outings, and it was such a wonderful day. And a friend of mine invited me to a candle making class, and I was like, yeah, great, I'll go. And it was super magical. The woman had crystals and flowers and all sorts of stuff to put in the candles, and it was really wonderful. But on the way there was a dead bird on the sidewalk. And I was like, oh, okay. And there was this beautiful big magnolia tree. And if anyone knows magnolia trees, the leaves are really big and strong, you know, and there was on the ground. And so I went and scooped it up in a magnolia leaf and put it over and kind of buried it in the leaves and gave it a blessing, you know, and said, thank you, you know, for your life. And I feel like, you know, it's just a part of life, you know, and just being reverent with the experiences, you know, that we're having, no matter what it is. And just living from that heart space and sharing from our hearts and sharing that, you know, sharing that freely, you know, so that and that's a part of what's happening right now in this like clarifying and this harmonizing of all of our beings, is just letting ourselves share, not holding back, letting what wants to come through to be shared. And that's what happened with me. I was like, I gotta come, I want to hang out with everyone and I want to share this. And you know, it feels so good. Let's get in it together and share it. So that's why I'm here today. So yeah, so though I do have to transition to other things, and so I'm just happy that we all got to be here together. And let's take a moment and just close here, to close our eyes, or if you want to keep them open, that's fine, whatever feels good, just to breathe in all that is coming alive for you in your life and through this experience. Breathing through the heart with gratitude and acknowledgement. And the willingness to continue this deep reflection of self and the heart with love and trust and patience and relaxation. Yeah, just breathing in. Allowing all of our energies that have been connected to just go into their own zones and realms so that we can be pure and whole within our own sphere, allowing the space to continue to support us as we move through our day, our week, our month, our year, whole being, our life. And if you wish to, just taking a moment to breathe into any of the intentions or sensations or images that came alive for you. Yeah, just holding them dear to your heart, like it's something you get to nurture and be with and allow. Thank you. Just taking a deep breath in. And in this moment, I'm just hearing to be called to share as we're breathing into our intentions in space, just to release any expectation. Any expectation. Just letting it be pure and whole as itself. Good. Thank you. Good. Just breathing into your heart. Breathing into this moment. Feeling your feet, feeling your body, opening up to the space around you, and saying yes to you. Saying yes to life. Saying yes to what's coming through. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Williams, Heavenly. Yeah, Lisa, Anna Maria, thank you. Yeah, so grateful for everyone, for you being here today. And I'll be sharing the replay, and in the replay email, if you wish to, you can donate for our time together. Just, it's always an option to gift. And also, I'm really excited about what's coming through for this second part of the From Worthiness to Wholeness. Really allowing yourself to feel what's good, being yourself, for next Wednesday. I'll be sending that out for you to join in as well if you wish to. And you don't have to have gone to part 1 to go to part 2. So it's not required. It's just the continuation, because it was such a powerful field. So I love you all so much, and I'm just loving to keep seeing your faces and hearing your voices and feeling your energy and us coming together, and all the new people that were here as well. Thank you for showing up. It's wonderful to have your energy with us. So enjoy your day. Peace and love. Be well.
Thank you.
Thank you.